The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And tonight on DC News Now at 5, incomplete shock. Neighbors reacted after 3 people were found dead inside of a home. We will have a live report on what led up to the deadly shooting. Are clear skies heading our way, or will you need to keep those rain jackets handy? We're tracking your weekend forecast. Plus, it's day 2 of the NFL Draft as we await the introduction of the Commanders' first-round pick. Sports Director Derek Forrest shows us why Washington football fans should be excited about Emmanuel Forbes. And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall, taking a live look outside tonight where we had steady rain throughout the day with temperatures in the 50s. The question now is the rain sticking around throughout the weekend. Let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Madsen with a check on the forecast. And Damon, is the weather looking a little bit better for the weekend?
Well, Mark, we have some time, but it will eventually improve. We just have to get through this evening. And you saw the live camera there in Hagerstown. That is where some of the steadier rain is still hanging about. But compared to this morning, this is a much clearer radar picture. We had green across the entire map, indicating that very steady rain throughout the first, I'd say, 2/3 of the day. Now, as we zoom in a little bit, we will see those steadier pockets of rainfall off to the north. Frederick right now dealing with quite a heavy rain shower. Thurmont, as you go north on the Route 15 corridor there, also seeing that steadier rain. And of course, that live view of Hagerstown, those big raindrops coming down as well. But off to the south, things are starting to clear up. Some light showers, pockets of drizzle around the DC metro, but outside of that, we are looking at drier conditions starting to take shape. So we're not going to completely dry out, but just be prepared for those scattered showers. Otherwise, some dry time is in our future this evening as we head on even into your Friday night. So not the most ideal conditions by far, but it is definitely improved compared to what we were dealing with earlier today. Now, as we get into the weekend, look at this. The storm system that brought the rainfall today will start to clear out, but as we go into the day on Sunday, it will be replaced by another storm system. So is this round of rainfall going to cause us any concern as we go toward the end of the weekend? And how much of a lull in the rain could we get tomorrow? We'll have a full look at that forecast in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. New details coming in right now about the 3 people found shot to death in a home in Springfield. Police have just identified the victims, as we've learned that they left behind 3 young children, including a baby boy who's about to turn 2 years old. DC News Now's Leonard and Fleming has been working this story today in that Springfield cul-de-sac. And Leonard, this certainly has changed that family forever. You've been talking to neighbors, including some who took in that young child last night.
That's exactly right, Mark. Good evening. This is truly a sad, sad situation. County detectives say that a husband killed his wife and her brother and then turned the gun on himself while the baby and the nanny were upstairs. And this has hit this close-knit community very, very hard. Fairfax County Police say the call came in around 3:47 p.m. Thursday that 3 people were found by a housekeeper in the basement. The housekeeper found the wife, Mescarim Solomon, her brother Emmanuel Solomon, and her husband Tiku Gebrisius dead with gunshot wounds. The family nanny and child were inside the home but uninjured, police say. Heidi and Carlos Barrio live across the street from the fallen family and say the neighborhood is devastated.
Very friendly, very kind, very maternal and loving when seeing her interacting with her boys. And we had the nanny over here with us trying to help care for the baby while the police were doing their investigation. And I actually, at first, because I was so involved in it, I didn't realize that was the baby, their baby.
The medical examiner will be conducting autopsies and will have details later on the cause of death. Meanwhile, police say they are still probing the circumstances of this shooting. Reporting from Springfield, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
Leonard, thank you. 5 teenagers have been arrested in connection to an armed carjacking in Prince George's County this week. Police saw the reported stolen car on Greenbelt Road in Lanham. They were able to arrest the teens. The ages range from 14 to 18. A loaded gun was also found inside the car. And according to police, that gun was stolen out of Georgia. And 2 of them have been charged as adults. So far, 29 adults, 14 teens have been charged to carjackings in the county. Well, exciting times for football fans in the region. It's day 2 of the NFL draft, and the Washington Commanders filled a big need last night, taking quarterback Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State with the 16th overall pick. Sports director Derek Forrest joins us in the studio. And Derek, tell us why Washington fans should be excited for this.
Yeah, the Washington Commanders, they were able to get their guy in the first round of the NFL draft Thursday night when they took defensive back Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State, as you mentioned, Mark. Now, what Forbes lacks in size at 6'1", 166 pounds, he makes up for with his play and his tenacity on the football field. This guy, an absolute monster defensively in the SEC with 14 career interceptions, including an SEC and FBS record 6 interceptions for a touchdown. Now, Forbes is talking to the media as we speak. We're going to hear from him at 6 p.m. Now, looking ahead to rounds 2 and 3 of the draft later tonight, the Commanders currently have a pick in each round. The 47th overall pick and the 97th overall pick. We'll have all the coverage of the draft later tonight on game night at 11 p.m. Mark.
All right, Derek, thank you. The Washington Nationals game has been postponed tonight because of the weather. The game will be made up Saturday as a doubleheader. Game 1 will begin as scheduled at 1:05, and Game 2, which is the postponed game, will begin at 6:05. Well, D.C.'s mayor shooting down a council member's proposal to charge people an additional fee for ride shares to and from downtown to help fund free bus rides. The $2 downtown ride share fee bill was put up recently by Council Member Brianne Nadeau. Now, Ward 1 council member put up the bill to add a $2 fee for digital dispatch companies, including Uber and Lyft, for rides starting at and ending downtown. Now, Nadeau said that the goal is to reduce congestion downtown and fund free buses. Extra fees would be for rides ending in the downtown business district from 7 a.m. to noon and starting downtown from noon to 7 p.m. Mayor Bowser, who has been focused on getting revenue flowing back in downtown as we continue to come out of the COVID-19 pandemic, wasn't mincing words on her thoughts on the bill.
I think it's a terrible idea. Any effort to attack the downtown, taking capital dollars out, or actually charging people to come downtown extra is the antithesis to a comeback, to an investment in the comeback of downtown.
And Councilmember Nadeau said the extra $2 would raise about $45 million over the next several years. The proposal was unanimously approved by a committee on Wednesday. It's headed to the council for a full vote. Well, after a 5-hour weather delay, the Something in the Water Festival will start tonight. Gates opened about 5 minutes ago, with some artists expected to start a little later than their original time. It's unclear when the artists who were supposed to start earlier will perform. Well, members of MPD's 4th District held a candle vigil earlier this morning to remember Sergeant Jen Park, who was killed in a motorcycle accident. Tosin Fakile was there at the vigil, and it started at 5:50 this morning, the time that the sergeant died in the crash.
Sergeant Jen Park served in the Metropolitan Police Department for 11 years, and on Friday his police family came together to honor his life at the exact time he lost that life a week ago right here.
At this time, please join the 4th District family in a moment of silence.
A somber moment in the early hours of the morning. Police say Sergeant Jen Park died in a motorcycle crash on April 21st, driving home after his shift.
April the 21st, 2023, just before 0550 hours.
Over the last 7 days, there hasn't been a day that's gone by that haven't heard a story about Sergeant Park.
Commander Carlos, who trained Park, said Sergeant Park was a leader.
On how he took care of his officers, on how he led them to the riots of 2020. He led them through the insurrection of 2021. We all know he was an incredible person. He was an incredible sergeant, and he will be missed.
I was walking around and praying for the person at the time. Of course, I didn't realize he was a police officer.
Gregory Clark lives just feet from where the accident happened. He recalls walking out to what he describes as a horrific scene.
The officer was on the street, and the motorcycle was beside him. And another gentleman from across the street was doing chest compressions.
Clark joined the officers in Friday's candlelight vigil after he saw the patrol cars and lights.
I passed by the intersection 100 times since last week, and you see the marks that they put down there in the street, and I've not been able to pass by it without thinking about him. And so he'll never be forgotten.
Honorably served for 11 years until the end of watch.
Officials say funeral plans are in place, and they'll share those details once they get the okay from Park's family. We're in Northwest D.C. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now.